I said, yeah, it kind of feels a lot different. Actually, got a couple of wrinkles in for them. Game planning this week, treating it like a real game week. You can tell the energy's a little different. Guys are more focused and locked in because we have to be. So, season's right around the corner, and we know what's at stake. Trying to come off and start off on the right note, when the season begins. So, the energy is definitely a little different.
How much more of the offense will we see on Saturday?
I mean, not too much, I don't think, but I know there will be a couple of wrinkles in. We won't be running the same 5 plays that we have been. So.
Has that been frustrating for you to not be able to do anything?
We have to execute what Coach calls at the end of the day, and he knows as well. We're running the same stuff, but at the end of the day, it's really not. It's up to us. What it doesn't really matter what they're running, but it gets frustrating when there might not be anything open, and we go out there and we look like how we looked last week, and then people are talking about you, but you also got to understand, like I said, I mean, it's preseason, and we were running literally 6 or 7 plays, so there's nothing to be too negative about just because we know what's really going on. So.
What's frustrating for you when you see guys coming and you could check, you could do different things and you're not allowed to yet?
No, if I'm out there and there's things coming, I'm gonna check it, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna do too much just because we want to keep everything ready for regular season. But it's over with. It's in the past. We're moving on to this week. So.
What were your thoughts on your first training camp?
I still feel like I'm in training camp, to be honest. But I mean, it was. I think it was a lot easier than college, just because you just get to focus on football all day. You're in a hotel, and you're in school. You got to focus on other things as well as football. But for me, it was. It was easy. Just focus on football is easy.
Is it good to get back to your routine now?
Yeah, definitely. Just to, be back at your house, sleep in your own bed, come to the facility, and kind of figure out how I'm going to go about my, my regimen every other day. So.
What have you seen, heard? What do you know about Minnesota's defense?
I know they have a great defense, a lot of players. Usually top defenses, and they usually have one of the top defenses in the league. And I grew up a Vikings fan, so I'm really familiar with that. But they got a great defense, and we got a game plan well, practice well, and hopefully go out Thursday and put on a better showing.
Why were you a Vikings
player growing up?
I would say Randy Moss, Dante Culpa. I mean, Brett Favre, when they made that run, was that was my time, but I was hurt by that one.
Why were you a Vikings fan?
I grew up playing for the Vikings. So.
People focus a lot on your college success, but you had a couple of years where you transferred and had to sit. How much do you think you learned from that experience?
I mean, I think it helped a lot. Just being on a red shirt, slowing the game down, understanding, what's going on, how to operate at the college level. I think it really, honestly, prepared me for this moment, just because I did have to sit out and got to, see how the game works with, a lot of better players and all of that. So I think it helped me a lot.
You feel like that was the first time you faced all this adversity, knowing how good your high school career was?
I mean, yeah, but for me, it was all a learning experience. I played at a young age. I wouldn't say I failed. I mean, obviously, I didn't do as well as I planned, but for me, I look at it as a learning experience.
How much did the Alabama loss, the last real game you played, that counted? Did that stay with you? Knowing you.
For me, just because knowing that was the last game that I got to play at OU, and I was there for a while. Doesn't seem like it just because I only got to play 1 year. So, they didn't really get all of me as far as more seasons. But when you play one season, it seems like it happens like that. So that was kind of and wanting to win a national championship and coming up short. But for me, it was just the fact that it just kind of felt, like I blinked my eyes and it was over.
What have you seen out of Keith Butler before he got injured?
He was hitting his stride. I mean, he was starting to figure it out. Obviously, with a guy like him, big, fast, can run, go up and get the ball. That's what you want to see him do, and he was starting to do that. But unfortunate injury. Obviously, praying for him, hoping for the best, and hopefully he gets back soon. So.
We've talked a lot with Cliff about how the rookie wide receivers are also different in what they bring to the table. How much do you feel that when you're playing with them?
They are very different, personality-wise, on the field. but at the same time, I mean, it's our job to all work together, figure out how each other, plays, how they run routes. My job, and just be on the same page at the end of the day. So.
You keep in touch with your cousin in Texas, Devin DuVernay?
I got 2 cousins at Texas.
2 cousins?
Yeah.
You keep in touch with them?
Yeah.
Who's faster?
Yeah. I don't want to make anyone mad up here. But they're both fast, though.
You mentioned sleeping in your own bed. You get a place? You got a place?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you take up Rosen on
I
this
do
offer?
like it.
Kyler, Coach talked about you playing Fortnite. You don't like to lose, so are you better at Madden or Fortnite?
I think I'm pretty good at both. Honestly, pretty good at a lot of video games.
Play with yourself in Madden?
Yeah. I use us. Have to.
You mentioned Fortnite too, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you playing that?
Playing that too. Playing a lot of that. Yeah.
You're gonna have to step up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Feel
sir.
that pressure?
It's a little bit of pressure, but I'm just taking it all in, I got drafted for a reason to come here and play. My mindset was already coming in and play right away, so, just staying positive through the whole thing. Even though if I'm be thrown in the fire, just ready to take it all in and keep working and show everybody what I can do.
Your defense fits pretty nice the other day in practice. That was pretty sweet.
They're just out there trying to play, get better every single day, just knowing, like I say, that he's the best wide receiver, so when I line up, I'm just ready and trying to get better and learn.
Did you take a little pride in that when you knocked that ball down?
Oh, yes, sir, definitely. Take a little bit of pride in that, yes, sir.
Do you know whether you'll be playing more corner or nickel in this upcoming game?
I don't know that for sure right now, but I know I'll be rotating probably in both.
If you go out against the Vikings, you see like Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. Will it give you a pause for a moment?
It's just watching those guys, just knowing that I'm going to have a chance to play against them, kind of, like I said, want to go watch more film, get ready for the game, and just knowing, it's a blessing at the end of the day and going out there and competing.
Everything Larry has done, you're like, okay, that's 16 years of experience. Like, has there been a move or anything he's done on you? You're like, oh, okay.
I think there's been a lot. there's been a lot. There's a lot of things he did. But I remember it was my first day. I was guarding him, and I kind of reached for him, and he just grabbed me and kind of threw me by. I was like, oh my, I've never had that happen to me. But yeah, those are the types of things I've seen out there. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to probably experience a lot of that in the regular season, don't you think? In September, you will be learning on the job to a large degree, won't you?
Oh yes, sir, definitely. Even if I had the chance to go get there and start right away, I'm going to have to go in there and play. Just go out there, like I said, and compete, knowing that whoever I'm going against, the opposite team, they're going to have a guy, and just go out there and compete and do what I can do.
Is this week a little more exciting since you guys can game plan a little bit more?
Oh yes, sir, definitely. Getting ready for this type of game, getting closer to the season. You're always prepared and locking in even more. Watching more film, those little things. But kind of more excited, just knowing that you kind of get more little playing time and go out there and kind of get my feet wet a little bit more.
You had big games at Washington. How does the NFL compare so far, just preseason-wise?
Compare, it's just all football at the end of the day. Still same concept, still same thing, just new team, new coaches, but I feel like it's the same thing, but obviously every single play, you got to make sure you're on your toes and going 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an exciting moment, and I'll remember the rest of my life. I still got the ball in my locker, so it was a fun moment. I'm ready to grow from it and just do some more.
Someone said Fitz retrieved that ball. Is that true?
Yeah, he did that. I saw him do that earlier for a rookie last week, and he did the same thing for me, so it's pretty special.
What does it mean to you to have a guy like that that's always looking out? I mean, that's kind of a small detail to a guy that's been in the league so long.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he looks out for all of us, and just the way he carries himself and how locked in he is at all times is pretty cool to just be around him and get to learn from him.
Did it mean anything to you that you had your guy beat by a few yards and then a ball was a little underthrown and it ended up being a contested ball, maybe to prove that you can go ahead and go up and get that ball and rip it away?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it just helps me out even more, and hopefully they'll continue to give me more opportunities.
Andy, what's it mean now that Keem's just like a broken hand, and what's that mean for the rest of you guys?
I mean, it's unfortunate. Keem's a great player and a great teammate. I know he's going to get better, and but we're just going to continue to work with who's in the room.
What's he like off the field?
He's an awesome guy. I mean, we have a great group of receivers, so they got a really tough job upstairs. But everyone's great people, and Hakeem's awesome. I mean, one of my good friends out here, and just the way he carries himself and the way he treats everyone is really good.
What's it been like for you personally to go against your two starting safeties, Swearinger and Baker, every day in practice? What's that been like for you?
It's a little. Sometimes it's intense. Definitely intense. They definitely they know what they're doing. They've been around a while, you could tell. And but it's fun going to compete against guys I used to watch on TV when I was growing up.
Did Swearinger ever give you a compliment at all?
He actually did give me one compliment.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he say?
I beat him on a route, and he was like, good route. I was pretty surprised, but I mean, no, he's a great player, and he hits. I mean, I remember the first time he hit me, and I was like, oh man, I'm not going back over there.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you work pre-draft or after draft with, was it Randy Moss? Was it?
Yeah, Randy Moss.
You know, obviously going back to Minnesota where he's a legend there. Can you talk about those workouts and what kind of a teacher he was for you?
Randy was an awesome teacher. I mean, he taught me a lot, and just more what this game's going to throw at me and stuff, and what to expect. So really, all his training really has helped me out throughout this whole journey so far.
Was he one of your idols growing up, or did you have like his jersey or anything like you had Larry's?
No, I have Randy's jersey, but definitely someone I like to watching.
What's been one area you've been working on in training camp just to improve your game?
Just being more detailed, and sometimes just with they're really strict on the footwork and stuff, and that's something that I'm still learning and trying to get down. Maybe it's taking me slower than some of the other guys, but just still working on the little details that they do in the NFL. They're very different than college.
You
Were you
mentioned
able to rely on your speed in college? Did you rely a lot on your speed?
Oh yeah. I think that was one of the main things, and now they want me to rely a lot on footwork and running really detailing routes, and that's something that I think I've struggled with so far. And if I don't, hopefully I'll be able to continue to learn, and they'll give me more opportunities as my footwork and stuff get better.
You had mentioned that against the Raiders, it kind of took a while for them to put you out in the game. Do you know what your role will be like against Minnesota?
I'm expecting. Well, I don't know, to be honest. We'll see whatever coach wants me to do. I'll be out there.
Do you feel like you need a certain amount of reps to be more comfortable after missing time during training camp?
No, I think I jumped. I think it took me a little to get jumped back in, but I had the whole week, so I mean I was ready to go by the time the game rolled around. But I'm back and healthy, and whatever coach wants me to do, that's what I'm gonna do.
It's preseason. Do you sense there's a little more urgency though with this preseason game number 3, especially after the team got down 26-0 last week?
Yeah, you could definitely tell everything's a little bit more heated, but we're just taking it day by day and working on what we can work on.
With the Oakland game being on national TV, what did your telephone look like when you got to your locker? Did you have a few text messages?
Yeah, it's always like that once I have a good game or something. But it's nice having a lot of support, knowing that people are back home are watching, and keeps me motivated and keeps me going.
Appreciate you.
Keen Butler has a fractured hand. Can you kind of give us an update on what the plans are?
We'll see. We're still working through it. He's a guy who has a ton of ability, and we're hoping that we'd be able to kind of see what he could do during preseason, but he won't play anymore in the preseason, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
Is he a candidate for injury reserve at this point?
I think it's too early to tell, but if that's a direction it has to go, then obviously that's unfortunate, like I said, that we wouldn't be able to develop him like we wanted.
What kind of a day is that to the receivers?
I think just when you have his height, size, speed, that's an element that you want on your roster, unfortunately. If he's not available, it's hard to find 6'5" guys, 6'6" guys that run sub 4.5, but other guys will step up.
If he goes on IR, that can make your job a little bit easier trying to narrow down that room, right?
Yeah, I think it just depends how the preseason goes. I think we've seen some bright spots from that group, and hope to continue to see that these last 2 preseason games. And then obviously Steve made mention of it earlier in this week, having that first claim. There's going to be some really good players out there, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Have you seen Kyler kind of develop anything close with any particular receiver, or is he doing it across the board?
I think they're all still building that rapport, getting comfortable with each other. It takes time. Receivers are learning a new offense. Kyler's learning a new offense, and I think that'll come as the season goes on.
You said you've been very vanilla, obviously, with your offense in the preseason, but you're going to play the starters more against Minnesota. Might you change in terms of, I don't know whether it's showing much or just getting your offense a little bit more, or will it still be very vanilla?
I'd say a combination of both. I think we've targeted week 3, just like most NFL teams, as the point in preseason where you want to work your processes and work your installations to an extent and do some different things. And so it's still going to be, not as complex as we want to be, but I would just say we've worked our processes more this week as far as game planning goes.
Is Pugh going to be able to play, and how has Mason Cole done at left guard since he's been in there?
I'm not sure yet on Pugh. We're going to get him out there today and tomorrow and see how he moves around and how he feels. But Mason's done a nice job at all positions. We plugged him in at center, at guard, at tackle even, and he's kind of the jack of all trades for us. Still a young player, but develops, each week and gets better every day, and that's what you like to see.
What's the show you about him? He hasn't missed a game since high school.
It's impressive. He's out there every day and always available, and like I said, being able to plug him in at any position at this level is really impressive.
Kyler had a lot of success in college, but he did have those years where he transferred and had to sit. Do you think dealing with that adversity helps him a little bit, where he might have learned some things from that experience?
I think he definitely learned from that experience. He's had a ton of success, like you mentioned, but this is a humbling sport and a humbling game, and you're going to go through some ups and downs, and everybody does, and everybody has, and he understands that, and he has a good feel for who he's trying to be as a player and a leader and the face of this franchise. And so I think some of those things he went through during those couple of years of sitting out and not working out at A&M as much as he would have liked will definitely serve him well.
Why do you believe that with a new offense and a rookie quarterback and so many young guys, you can go from vanilla in the preseason to the complexity of your offense in the regular season and kind of turn the light on?
The amount of reps that we've got, I think we get a ton of reps, whether it be walkthroughs or on the practice field, and so I feel comfortable with the execution level I've seen versus our defense that we'll be able to transition.
Practice speed in your mind is the same as game speed?
That's the plan, yeah.
How did Kyler handle just the Thursday loss in terms of absorbing it, like we were just talking about, learning from some failures or not success?
Yeah, I think he has a great perspective on it. It's preseason football, and he knew we weren't all in offensively as far as game planning, and we had talked about that approach earlier, but he knew also that as an offense we needed to execute at a higher level, and he understood that and worked really hard the last 2 days of camp and thought had really good practices, and I know he's excited to get back out there this week.
You've had some high-profile quarterbacks in the past, too. Dealing with losses and things like that, do a lot of them have similar ways of doing it? Is it different considering
they despise losing, makes them physically ill, can't sleep, can't eat, and that's what you want.
What kind of resource can Walt Anderson be this week in terms of the whole class? Because Big 12 experience and college experience.
I guess we'll find out. I've worked with Walt over the years and have a ton of respect for him, and so I'm interested in our pregame conversation.